I got a call one day from the emergency room, which is weird because usually we would send someone to the emergency room, but they called me and they're like, this lady has horrendous pelvic pain. We've done every test possible, CAT scan, blah, 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 and there's absolutely nothing wrong. Can you see her today? And I'm like, well, what am I going to do in my office that I can't do anything for her? Does she need surgery? And so she came, and I had just finished all this stuff. So I was thinking this poor woman's going to need surgery. Something's going on. She got an ovarian torsion or something weird's going on.
Absolutely.
And she walked into the back and she was all hunched over. She was crying. She was in this horrendous amount of pain. And so she sat on the table and I was just talking to her. And behind her on the wall was this tapestry I bought that was just the 7 chakras, which show energetic centers in the body.
Yeah.
So we were talking and I said to her, because pelvis is the 2nd chakra and it's usually about relationships, money, relationships, trauma, stuff like that. So I said to her, have you been having any problems with your relationship? And she literally stopped crying and she said, well, my husband just told me yesterday that he's having an affair.
Oh.
And I said, oh, okay. Well, I said, and she interrupted me and she said, hang on. When he told me that, she said, I had this like memory come back that I guess I had blocked, but when I was 18, I was brutally raped and they tried to drown me. And I was like, so I was sitting there and I remember thinking to myself, well, shit, now that I've ripped this scab off, what do I do? But she stopped crying. When she was telling the story, she sat up straight and she stopped crying. It was like the pain just went away. So I called a friend of mine who's a trauma psychiatrist, and I said, I really think this woman would benefit from talking to you, not to me.